Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the previous class, we discussed about environments of international business. We discussed that business environment means all the forces, all the factors that are influencing the life and growth of firm or business. That all the forces, all the factors that are influencing the business, we call it business environment. Then we discussed that there are two kinds of forces, or there are two kinds of business environment. One is external forces or external environment, and one is internal forces or internal environment. And we discussed that external forces are uncontrollable, and internal forces, these are basically controllable. These are also called macro environment, and this is called micro environment. Then we discussed that in macro environment our external forces, competition, there is channel of distribution, economic conditions, socio-economic conditions, financial conditions, legal environment, physical environment, political environment, socio-cultural environment, labor and technological environment. Then these are the forces which are uncontrollable in the external environment. All these forces, these are uncontrollable. These are not in the control of a company. Then we discussed about internal forces. That internal forces are those forces which are activities which are in the control of the company, and we can divide these activities into the following: capital, raw material, decision makers, employees, and business processes and functions, and we can control these easily. Not easily, but we can control them. These are in the control. Now today we are going to discuss about international versus domestic business. Now what is domestic business? Domestic business is a business whose activities are carried out within the national borders. Means their activities will not cross the national borders. It is further divided into: the first one is national business and the second one is local business. Now check. Suppose this is a country. In this country, there are different provinces. These are, suppose, the provinces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Suppose a company is working here. The culture of this area, the language, and different other things. It is different. So this environment is different from this environment. Here the culture is different. Here the language is different. Here different other things are different. So these environments are different. So we call this environment local environment. This environment will be local for that company whose origin is from here. Similarly, this environment is different. This is local, this is local, this is local, this is local. But if a company from this locality, they are also sending goods to this environment and this environment and this environment and this environment, and this environment, so it will become national environment or national level for this firm, this local firm. For this local firm, this whole environment will be national environment. So again, see the provinces, these are the cities, their language, their culture, their habits, each and everything is changed. So that is coming, we call it a local environment. And for businessmen, it is important that they will keep all these things in mind. Their culture, their habits, their languages, all these things, these are important. So this environment, this is local environment. Now, for this company, this environment, this environment, this environment, this environment, and this environment, if they are sending goods there, so this whole environment, this all different environment inside the country, this is the national environment. So see here, a business whose activities are carried out within the national borders. It is further divided into national business and local business. So I told you that this is local business, this working inside your province or working inside your city, that is local environment for you. But this working here, and here, this is national business for you. Then international business, a business whose activities are carried out across the national borders. When you are crossing the national border, suppose this is your country, this is the border, a businessman, this is his company, and he is crossing the border, the national borders. He's sending goods to this country, he's sending goods to this country. So when he crosses the borders, then this thing is coming in international business. Now the international business differs from domestic business as it deals in three kinds of environment. There is a difference between this domestic business and this international business. Because international business, it deals in three kinds of environment. One is domestic environment, one is foreign environment, and one is global environment. How? Now you know, this environment in which a company whose base is from Afghanistan or whose base is from a country, they are working in their own environment, so that environment is domestic. So they are working in domestic environment. But now they are selling goods in this country. Suppose that is USA. So this environment will be foreign environment. Because this environment in USA, it is different from Afghanistan. So that's why we call it foreign environment. Now, what they did, they are expanding their business. They also start sending goods to this country, and to this country, and to this country. Now, this environment is different from this environment is different from this, and this environment is different from this. So all these environments are different from each other. So overall, these whole environmental change which are influencing the business of this firm, we call this environment as global environment. So one was domestic environment, one was foreign environment, and one was global environment. So domestic environment is what all the uncontrollable forces, all the factors in the home country, inside the country, that surround and influence the firm's life and development, which are affecting the firm's business, which are affecting the firm's life and development, we call it domestic environment. So domestic environment is the environment inside a country, and it is affecting the business, it is influencing the business of the company. The next one, it is foreign environment. All the uncontrollable forces originating outside the home country that surround and influence the firm. That is, all the forces outside the country which are affecting the firm's business, which surround and influence the firm, which are affecting the firm's business. Outside the country, the forces which are affecting the firm's business, we call it foreign environment. And global environment, shortly in simple words, we can say that the overall change on international level. On international level, the factors, the forces, the uncontrollable forces which are affecting the business, so we call it global environment. Growth in international business. International business is rapidly growing due to the following factors. We already discussed about this thing, but here we are checking about the volume of growth. Expanding number of international firms. International firms are expanding. Their number, it is expanding. 1995. 45,000 parent companies. Okay, what is parent company and what is subsidiary company? 280,000 for affiliate. Affiliates are subsidiary company. Look at this. Suppose this is a company whose base is in Afghanistan. What they did, they expand their business. They start their one branch in USA. They start their other branch in Dubai. And they start their other branch in England or UK. Now, this company is called parent company, and these companies, these branches, these are called subsidiary companies or foreign affiliates. We'll discuss these things in the next chapters in detail, but here just a small overview that this company will be parent company. And these companies will be called subsidiaries. These will be called subsidiary of this company. Subsidiary company of this company. Now, in 1995, there were 45,000 parent companies all over the world, and their foreign affiliates, means their subsidiary companies, it was 280,000. And what was the volume of sale? It was 7 trillion. 7 trillion sales of these companies all over the world. In 2004, it goes to 70,000 parent companies. From 45,000 it goes to 70,000 parent companies all over the world, with 690,000 foreign affiliates, and their foreign affiliates, it goes from 280,000 to 690,000. So the number of these subsidiary companies, it is telling us about the expansion of international business. Why these international firms are expanding their business? Because the sales is increasing, because the business is increasing. And now check the volume of sales from 7 trillion in 2004. In 9 years it goes to $19 trillion, almost 3 times. There is increase of 300%. So this is one of the reasons of growth of international business. Then the second thing is emergence of global institutions. Internationally, there are some institutions formed or developed, just like previously it was GATT, now it is WTO. WTO, IMF, World Bank, and United Nations. Because of these international institutions, what is their work? They are managing, they are regulating, and they are policing the global marketplace. So because of these international institutions, because there are now laws internationally for businesses. So because of this emergence of global institutions, international business is expanding. Then the third thing is globalization. It will come in the next slide, so we will discuss it in detail. I'm not going to discuss it now. International trade, import and export, it is increasing. Countries, they need more things, their population is increasing, they need more products, they need more goods, so they are importing goods. Similarly, different other countries, they have excess goods, so they are exporting. So because of this import and export, international trade is expanding. Foreign direct investment, that is another reason for growth of international business, that is foreign direct investment. What is FDI? FDI means investment from the nationals of one country in some other country, or investment starting a totally new business, or investing or purchasing more than 50% shares of a company in the foreign country. We will discuss it in detail. Just see, suppose a person or a company is going from Afghanistan to USA, and in USA there is a company and they are purchasing more than 50% shares. Suppose they are purchasing 60% shares of this company. So this will be considered foreign direct investment. Investment in a foreign country's company for taking management control. Means if 60% shares you will purchase, so you will got management control. Means you have highest voting power, so you can control the decisions of this company. Or going from Afghanistan to USA, and here you are starting a totally new business. You are purchasing land, you are purchasing building, you are purchasing furniture, you are purchasing machinery, totally a new business. So this will come in FDI. We'll discuss it later on in detail in the next classes, inshallah. Okay, in the next class then we will discuss about these things. Inshallah, for today it is enough. Assalamu alaikum.